a website now that is, I think you have to put in HTTP and then slash slash, and then Messages from Heaven by Jaynee. And it talks about my abilities to do readings. Um, that's not really what I came on tonight to say, but in case you're interested, I do readings. I am a really good medium, and I talk to spirits all the time. I'm not talking to them here now, but that's that's been the shock of my getting older, and I didn't expect to do it more than anything else. I mean, I can also do the remotes when I look into people and see them wherever they are. It's the most amazing thing that I didn't realize I could do it. But my job, in when I worked, not when I was looking at houses. Um, Before that, when I was working as a therapist, and I would have to write notes for people, and I could always see what was going on in their heads and stuff like that, and I didn't think anything about it. Well, now I can do it, the same thing, but I do it looking at people that I'm not really seeing. It's kind of incredible. Um, I can see that um, President Biden right now is very upset. This is a terrible time for him. He's he really worries for the nation. Okay, so I can see him. I can see anybody. So, but if you're interested in a reading, if you want to know the spirits who are around you and what they want to tell you, I do that, and it's $80 for about 2 hours. It can go up to 2 hours. If you don't have the money, then you pay what you can. Um, it's free for people who've lost a child. That's different. Okay, now for real, for the reason I came on, I want to talk about disabilities. I wanted to make this really for my friend Joe Alice. Um, wait, what? Uh, I think I have some kids on here, and they write these really wacky, wacky notes. Like yucky stuff sometimes. Anyway, um, Joe Alice, my friend Joe Alice, is stuck being in pain most of the time and not being able to get medication that what the hell's wrong with those kids, that would treat it. That's been a problem ever since people started. They were when the drugs started coming through from China, I think, and we had tons and tons of addicts, and uh, the doctors were told, stop writing prescriptions for people who don't need these medications. And it became more and more difficult for doctors to write prescriptions for things like oxycodone and the patch that some people can get or do get when they have cancer, stuff like that. Um, I'm just looking, and because look like more gold stuff there. Anyway, um, I never had that problem, but I did have others. Uh, I had lupus. Um, it may not have actually been lupus. It might have been something like it, but less than. However, it was mild, and it was very hard to get attention from the doctors because it was mild, and it kills people. So, they're looking for people who are really sick, and in the beginning, what was wrong was I was nauseous and dizzy all the time, most of the time. Um, I mean, it's really awful. Who wants to be nauseous all the time and dizzy? I can't tell you how awful that felt. So it took me, I don't know how long it took me, but a long while because I was given all kinds of drugs, nothing that would, you would get high with, but a lot of drugs that just didn't work. And I don't remember how I found Dr. Tabby. I found two doctors who listened to me, which was the most marvelous thing. It was wonderful. And then I went to another rheumatologist in Center City because I worked in Center City. So I used to go to her too. Um, but Dr. Tabby was familiar. He treated a lot of multiple sclerosis, and he just knew about it. And he worked with me on the dizziness and the nausea. I found that prednisone was treated the nausea and the dizziness, and I felt like a human being after taking them. It My point is, it is when people have these diseases, autoimmune diseases, any disease really that can't that doesn't show up. You can't show something on your arm and say, "Oh, see, this is what's wrong, doctor." You can't do that. And problem with lupus sometimes is that the tests come out positive and then they come out negative another time. I talked to one woman who told me that the doctor would tell her that she had lupus, and then the test would come back negative the next time. You say, "Oh no, you don't have it." Well, he was wrong. It is not supposed to be judged by tests alone. But I guess doctors are really worried about insurance being, being sued, and they want to have something that they can hang their hat on. They can say, "Well, the tests came out positive, so I said that she must have it." That makes the person have to wait for a very long time, means that you don't get treatment and you don't know what's wrong with you. And that's really upsetting. Why am I getting, you get with lupus, you get all kinds of crazy things because lupus can attack anything. It is harder on people of color. I mean, they die more. Um, that includes Asians, um, Native Americans, Hispanics. Um, I am originally Hispanic, but not now. Got too much white stuff going on here, and I've got Nigerian blood, but not enough to. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know. I'm glad I have it, but you know, it's not. It's not the majority. Yeah. Okay. Um, I said about the one woman, and what the hell is he talking about? Wipe it or let it crust? What? I can't imagine what he's talking about. Okay. Um, okay. You know, can I don't know if I'm talking to people who anybody who is disabled but is far and away a problem. If you don't get up and down the steps well, how are you going to get into your house? I mean, it's really hard and it's expensive to get one of those lifts that goes up and down. And people can't, and I don't know if someone wouldn't break it. And people steal wheelchairs. Um, it is hard. I mean, I remember being in a wheelchair and my husband was pushing me, and we were in Ocean City, Maryland, and I really had a good time. but I was in a wheelchair, and sometimes you can't get in places. I mean, if there's steps, you aren't going to get in unless you're able to walk, and you can walk up the 3 steps and maybe drag up the wheelchair. It's hard, you know. Taking a shower in a bathtub can mean death. It's because you can slip and slide, and then you fall, and if you just break a hip, you may die from that from that all that rigmarole. Um, it's just really hard, and young people don't can't imagine how difficult it can be, but especially being in pain. If you're in pain with it, it is awful. Um, yeah. Oh, that's right. I have trouble. I use a walker or a cane, if I remember, and sometimes it's really hard to get up on a curb. It's like, you know, who thinks about that? Stick the walker. I got the lightest walker that that's made, 10 pounds. It's still 10 pounds. And then I got another one that's 12 pounds, so I could have one in the house. You know, um, you have to pick it up. It's heavy. It's really a problem. I remember when my husband just came out of rehab and he was using a walker, and we went out to dinner, and they didn't want the walker to be seen in the restaurant. They took it and hid it, and he had to go to the bathroom. So he had to find somebody, and then they had to bring it back over. It was not nice. I mean, it just wasn't nice. Um, okay, and the whole meds thing is horrible. I mean, I don't know what to say. It's wrong to. I mean, it's doctors have been making it very hard for people to get medicines that would help with pain. Now, what is this? What language do you speak? I speak English, and if you don't understand my English, I'm really sorry, because I would like it if you did, but that's honestly, I speak a little bit of Spanish, really little, and that's about Derek. Wait a minute, what is this? Derek Endelbum. He must be a bum. These odd messages. Does anybody? That's it. That's all I had to say, and I'm ready to go watch the the what is this? Oh, I'm ready to go watch the um lectures on like Bronze Age stuff. I want to know. So if you don't have anything else, if you have nothing to ask, hi Jay, hi, hi. I don't know if you're older. Are you older, redheaded gypsy? Older means are you over 60? Not meaning, I'm only meaning like, are you on my plane? Because I'm 77. 77 Sunset Strip. That was a show when I was young. 77 Sunset Strip. Um, there was this guy who played the lead, and he had light brown hair, and his hair went like this. It was such a hot style in those days. I think it was the 60s. And my husband Harry, who comes from South Philly, had his hair like that, curly hair. He was so cute. He was such a good looking guy. Oh, oh, okay. That's great. Someone met me in Chicago at the Empower thing. That's nice. Is there anything you want? Do you want me to talk to any spirit or anything like that? I don't know if she wants to, or if she's doing something else. She probably is doing something else. Um, Let me tell you again, like I usually do, that we all have. spirits around us. Ah, I wish I could tell you that, the Powerball number. That'd be great. Um, I don't think Susan Lynn would be able to. That's really impossible. But no, I'm just talking about we all do have, we have family around us, um, our parents, our cousins, and whoever, grandparents, great grandparents, they're all there. And there are sometimes other people too, other spirits, not people. Um, there are, I mean, we don't realize it, but we have a crowd. We have guides, excuse me, guides who are around us, who sort of push us a little bit, they nudge us a little bit so that we follow what we wanted to follow before we were born. We make arrangements, that we want to come back because we want to do something. This is the place where we learn. We came to learn something. We wanted to work something out in the way that we think or feel, and so we come back, and they just nudge us along, trying to get us to do what we have to do in order to fulfill our original goal. That's for this life. And I'm so sorry when I hear so many people believe that we live and then that's it. We die and that's it. Because it's not. It's just not. We have so many lives. I often I feel I had a life as an Irishman who, he did pretty well for himself. Um, but I can feel that same spirit. Not that he is part of me. We now in this life are it's the culmination of all our lives. Now you may go on to have a lot more lives, and each one will take the life that you're having now and the lives that you've had before, and the next life will be the culmination of all of those lives. Just like my life right now includes John O'Sullivan, who I'm sure is very pleased that I mentioned his name. He's funny. He's really funny. But I have other lives too, and I see them too. So that's it. Uh, I hope you're doing well. This was supposed to be fast, and it is. So, again, if you want to talk with me, my email is SpiritsbyJaynee. If you want a reading or you just want to talk to me, just write to me at SpiritsbyJaynee. And I do have the website now, and that is Messages from Heaven by Jaynee. And you can see that, and it has some of my recent artwork on it. That's it. Okay. It's good to see you all. And I wish my one tooth didn't look sort of dark on here. It kind of freaks me out because I don't like that. But have a lovely evening. And Mr. Ben, if you don't speak English, now I don't know how you would know what I said then. It would be really hard. Take it easy. Have a good night. Thank you very much for coming. Good night. That's not going off. Okay. Good night.